All right, the brand new 2025 Cancer Progress Report just dropped from the American Association for Cancer Research. And let me tell you, it paints a picture of just incredible progress. But it also gets real about the huge challenges we're still facing. So let's get right into it.
So the whole story really kicks off with this one single number, 34%. What is that? Well, that's how much the U.S. cancer death rate has fallen since 1991. I mean, that's just a stunning drop, right? And it didn't happen overnight. It's built on decades of hard work. We're talking relentless research, major public health pushes, and some incredible medical breakthroughs.
But a percentage, it's just a number on a page. The really mind-blowing part is what it means for actual people. It translates to this: over 4.5 million lives saved. Just stop and think about that for a second. That's 4.5 million mothers, fathers, friends, kids who are with us today because of this progress. It's just staggering. So naturally, this leads to the big questions, right? How on earth did we achieve this? What are the breakthroughs that are really pushing things forward? And what's coming next? What are the new hurdles we need to jump? Well, we're going to break it all down for you.
We've dug through this massive report from the AACR, and we've pulled out the 5 most important takeaways, 5 key revelations that really tell the story of not just where we are right now, but where this whole fight is going.
Okay, let's kick things off with revelation number 1. And honestly, this one is just so hopeful. We are, without a doubt, in a brand new era of survivorship. I mean, right now, today, there are more people living with and beyond cancer than ever before in history. Period.
And the number itself? It's huge. As of January 1st, 2025, we're looking at a record 18.6 million cancer survivors just in the U.S. To give you some perspective, that's like 5.5% of the entire country. Wow.
And this timeline, man, it just lays it all out so clearly. Look at this curve. We went from 3 million survivors way back in 1971, jumped to 12 million by 2011, which is when the AACR started these reports, and now, boom, 18.6 million. And get this, the projections show we're on track to blow past 22 million by 2035.
Okay, so how? How did this happen? What's the engine behind this survivor boom? That brings us right to revelation number 2, the immunotherapy revolution. This is the science of basically teaching your own immune system to hunt down and kill cancer cells. And believe me, it has been an absolute game changer.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The numbers speak for themselves. Look at this. Back in 2011, there was only one FDA-approved immune checkpoint inhibitor. Just one. Today, 15. And what about adoptive T-cell therapies? In 2011, they weren't even a thing. 0. Today, we have 9. That isn't just progress. That's an explosion of innovation in a little more than a decade.
And the key thing to realize here is that this isn't some niche, experimental stuff anymore. Immunotherapies are now a core part of the toolkit, a fundamental weapon in the fight against cancer. They're being used to treat more than 20 different kinds of cancer, everything from melanoma to lung cancer, you name it.
But, and this is a really important but, all this amazing progress hasn't been spread around evenly. This brings us to revelation number 3, which is that we're fighting on a very uneven battlefield. The incredible wins we've seen just don't apply to every single type of cancer.
And this chart, wow, it makes that point in a really powerful way. Just look at the 5-year survival rates. Prostate cancer, 98%. Amazing. Breast cancer, 92%. Fantastic. But then you get to pancreatic cancer, and that number drops to a devastating 13%. It's just a brutal reminder that some parts of this fight are still incredibly, incredibly tough. And this battlefield is always changing. The report points out another really concerning trend. For some cancers, like colorectal and breast cancer, we're actually seeing the number of new cases go up in adults under 50. It just goes to show you, this fight is always evolving. There are always new challenges popping up that we've got to face.
So the question is, how do we take on these really tough cancers and these new trends? Well, that leads us right into revelation number 4, technology's next frontier. Because what's happening right now in labs, researchers are starting to use tools that are poised to, you guessed it, change the game all over again.
And I'm not kidding. We're talking about technology that sounds like it's pulled straight from a sci-fi movie, but it's becoming reality, fast. This isn't about tiny little improvements. This is about brand new ways to see cancer, to find it, and to attack it right where it starts.
The report really highlights three huge ones. First, you've got artificial intelligence, or AI, which can crunch just mountains of data to spot patterns we'd never see, and that's supercharging drug discovery. Then, there's the liquid biopsy. Imagine being able to find the earliest traces of cancer with just a simple blood test. That's what we're talking about. And finally, CRISPR gene editing. This gives us the mind-blowing ability to literally design custom-built treatments for a person's specific genetic makeup.
And the AACR president, Dr. Lillian Su, she put it perfectly. She said, liquid biopsy is a game changer, allowing us to detect cancer at a molecular level and intervene before it returns. I mean, just think about the power of that. It's like being able to spot the enemy scout before they can even think about building an army.
Okay, but all this high-tech stuff, it's only part of the picture. Our fifth and final revelation brings this whole conversation out of the laboratory and right into our everyday lives. It's all about the incredible power of prevention. Because, the easiest way to beat cancer is to not get it to begin with.
And this is where it really hits home for all of us. Get this number, 40%. The report says that a full 40% of all cancer cases in the U.S. are linked to risk factors that are modifiable. That means things we can actually change. Let that sink in for a minute. We have some control here.
And the list of these factors, it's probably not going to surprise you. We're talking about things like cigarette smoking, excess body weight, drinking too much alcohol, a poor diet, not getting enough exercise, and getting too much sun. It's a really powerful reminder, While scientists are working on these miracle technologies in the lab, some of the most powerful weapons in this fight are actually the choices we all make, every single day.
So there you have it, the 5 big revelations. We've seen a huge boom in survivors thanks to revolutionary treatments, but also the harsh reality that the fight isn't the same for everyone. We've looked at the mind-blowing promise of new tech and the simple, profound power of prevention. This report marks 15 years that the AACR has been doing this, and in that time, cancer care has been completely transformed. It really just leaves you with one big question, doesn't it? The last 15 years changed everything. So what will the next 15 bring?